In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create an email marketing campaign from within inside MailChimp. So this will be an email that will go out to all of your subscribers. So to create this email, all you need to do is go over to the left-hand side and click Campaigns. And then what you want to do is go over to the top-hand right side of the screen and click Create Campaign. Now go ahead and select Email. And then simply type in a name for your email marketing campaign. So I'll go for Slice WordPress Demo. And then click Begin. And as you can see, we have a few different options in front of us. We have who the email is going to, who the email is going to come from, the email subject line, and we have the main content of the actual email. So by default, your email is going to go to all of your subscribed contacts, which is exactly what we want. However, if you don't want your email to go to all of your subscribed contacts, you can go over to the right-hand side and click Edit Recipients and then remove some of those contacts. However, for the purpose of this training video, this is exactly what I want to do, send an email to all of my subscribed contacts. So there's nothing I need to do for the top option. For the second option, where it says From, let's go ahead and click Add From. And as you can see, we have two different boxes. We have our name and we have our email address, but essentially the name you see on the left-hand side, this is actually going to be the name that you see in your inbox when you receive that email. So to give you some context of what I mean by this name, let me go back to that image of my email inbox. And as you can see, we have different names up here. We have Ticketmaster, we have Stephanie from Bright Local, we have Uber Eats, the Box Team, and so on and so on. So the name you enter here is going to be the name that shows in the main inbox folder. So you can go ahead and leave it as just your name. However, what I actually recommend you do is you put your name from where the person subscribed to your email. This is going to help them remember who you actually are, as let's face it, it's very easy to forget who this person is actually emailing you from. This is especially true if you have a generic name such as me, Joshua. I mean, how many Joshuas do you know out there in the world? So adding Joshua from Slice WordPress Demo is going to help the recipient remember exactly who I am. So once you put in your name in the left-hand box, what you want to do is go ahead and change the email address. So by default, MailChimp is going to show the email address that you used to sign up for your MailChimp account. However, you don't want that email to show when you send your email marketing campaign. So what you should actually do is delete that email address and replace it with an email address which reflects your domain name. So for example, our domain is obviously called slicewordpressdemo.com. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my email at my website, which is josh@slicewordpressdemo.com. Now, I highly recommend that you send your email marketing campaigns from using a branded domain name. And there's 3 reasons why I highly recommend you do this. Number 1 is when you send your emails from a branded domain name, it helps with your brand recognition. So every time someone sees an email with your name, you're going to instantly remind them about your brand and your website name as well. The second reason why I recommend you enter in a branded email domain name, as it looks way more professional than using a free email address, such as a Gmail or a Hotmail, for example. The third reason why I recommend that you use a branded domain is it actually helps improve your email deliverability. You can actually see this article here from MailChimp. It goes over the limitations of using free email addresses. And as you can see, actually a lot of free email address service providers actually have policies in place which can actually make your inbox land in a person's spam folder instead of the inbox folder. However, when you use a domain email address, you actually bypass this and your email is more likely to land in a person's inbox, which, as you probably already figured, is super important when it comes to email marketing, as there's no point sending out 1,000 emails, for example, if none of them make it in the person's inbox, as that is 1,000 emails gone to waste. So I highly recommend that you use an email which is connected to your main domain name. It's also good to note as well that the email you enter in this box right here is going to be the email address that people will reply to as well. So do make sure you check that inbox, as if people are replying to your email, it's going to land in the inbox of this email address. So once you've filled in these 2 boxes, what you need to do is go ahead and verify this email address. So let's go ahead and click Save. And now you can see it says Verify Domain. So let me go ahead and click Verify Domain now. And essentially all I need to do is prove to MailChimp that I actually own this email address and that I have access to it. So let's go ahead and click Send Verification Code. And then what I want to do is simply go into my email. And as you can see, I've got an email right here from MailChimp, verify your domain before sending. So I'll go ahead and open that, display the images just to make sure it's definitely from MailChimp. And then I'm going to go ahead and click verify domain access. And just like that, you can see my domain has now been verified for sending. So let me go back to my other tab and then click refresh. And then what I'm going to do is go back to my edit from section and update the details to how we had it before. So Josh from Slice WordPress demo. And I'll go in and I'll put in my main email, which reflects my actual domain name. Like so. Now we can go ahead and click save, and this is going to be verified as we've already done that before. So now you can see it says Josh from Slice WordPress demo, and I've got Josh at slicewordpressdemo.com. Great. So it's time to move on to the next part, which is the email subject line. So let's go ahead and click add subject. Now, if you haven't already watched my last few videos on how to create an effective email subject line, then I highly recommend you actually go back and watch them first, as I go through over 9 different strategies that you can utilize to create an effective email marketing subject line. So for the purpose of this training video, let's imagine that I'm running a sale on some of my digital marketing services and packages. I can go ahead and use a subject line such as 35% off our flagship digital marketing package. This is a really good email subject line as it has a number in it, which is 35%. So this is all about a discount. It says off our flagship digital marketing package and not just digital marketing package. So this indicates to our subscriber that it's a really good deal as it's 35% off our main flagship package. So this is all good to go. And you can also see that MailChimp actually give you some live feedback on your subject line as well. It's short and sweet, which is great. Emojis are great in small quantities, but I actually haven't included any emojis in this email subject line, which is fine. You can do if you wish, but again, don't use any more than 1 as advised. Space is limited, so my copy is under 60 characters, which is great. And I've also managed to get my point across without using any punctuation marks. So again, all good on the email subject line. So the next part is going to be your preview text. So your preview text, going back to my inbox folder, is going to be the text that you see after your subject line. So in this example right here, we've got an email from Elementor magazine, learn all about Elementor 3.0 features. This would be the subject line, and this part you see right here, how to create a web design. This is going to be the preview text. Now, typically by default, your preview text should be what the first line of your email says. However, you can go ahead and change it if you wish, but I actually like to follow best practices and just make it the first line of your email so people actually know what to expect when they click onto your email. So in this instance, I'm going to go with level up your business today, which is actually going to be the first line of my email, as you'll see later on when we get into the content section. So once you're happy with your email subject line, you want to go ahead and click save. And finally, it's time to go through the main content of our email. So let's go ahead and click design email. And as you can see, you don't have to start from scratch when it comes to designing your email. There are tons and tons of different templates you can use, but just one thing to be wary of is that some of these templates, you will need to upgrade to use them. For example, this one right here with 2 columns, you need to upgrade if you want to use that. However, there are lots of free ones you can use. And you can also start from scratch if you wish to as well, so that way you can really get the whole look and design and feel that you are looking to achieve. I'm going to go ahead and actually go for the basic one, as I actually really like this. We have an image, we've got some text, and a big option right here, so it's got everything we actually need. This is the one I actually recommend you use as well, and of course, this is the one which is actually free and will not require you to upgrade. So let's go ahead and click the basic one. And as you can see, this consists of a few different elements. We have the logo at the top, we've got a title, and we've got the text here. So editing this is actually really easy. For example, if you wanted to edit the text right here, you see at the bottom, just go ahead, give it a click, and it will open the box on the right hand side. Now you can simply go ahead and delete all this, and literally put in any text which you like to have in your campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and copy in this text like so. I'll add another space at the top just to even out the spacing a little bit better. The logo, if you don't want the logo, you can simply delete it by clicking the bin icon right here and then clicking delete. And of course, you can also add any blocks into your email. For example, let's say I want to add an image at the top of my email. I simply drag and drop it across onto the email on the left hand side. And just like that, it's created an image where I can then go ahead, browse and upload an image to my email. So let me go ahead and do that now. Let's add this one, which says sell, as the whole email is about a sell, which I'm offering on my services. And that looks pretty good. As you can see, it's coming now. I now want to edit this text right here. It's time to design your email. Let's go ahead and put in save up to 35 on our flagship digital marketing package. So again, I'm simply mentioning what I said in my email subject line just to make it super clear what my email is about. And what I'm going to do is simply go ahead and center that text so it looks a little bit better. And the one more thing I'm going to do to this email is I'm going to go ahead and add another block at the bottom, which is going to be a button. So to add the button, all we need to do is go ahead and click save and close. But before I do that, you can see we actually have a spelling error right here. This should actually say skyrocket, like so. So one thing you obviously do want to make sure you do is definitely double check, I would say even triple check your copy and just make sure there's no spelling errors whatsoever. But the great thing about MailChimp is that if you do make any spelling errors, MailChimp will underline this and highlight that to you very easily. So let's go ahead and click save and close. And now we're back to the main screen where we can add blocks. So what I'm going to do is click the button block right here and I'm going to drop that below my email. And you can see by default, it's going to say buy now. You can easily edit this button text if you wish by coming up here. But I think for now, I'm going to leave that as the main button text as I quite like that. The link to, I want to link to a web address. So when people click this button, I want them to be taken to a web address, which is obviously going to be my website. So let me go ahead to my website. I will copy the URL and then I'll go ahead and paste it in here like so, and then click save and close. Now, one thing to note as well, that if you are mentioning any discounts or services about a specific page on your website and not your home page, then of course, make sure you go ahead and enter in the relevant page in the website URL address. So once you're happy with your email, I think it looks pretty good. What you want to do is actually go ahead and send a test email so you can see exactly what this email would look like in the eyes of one of your subscribers. So to do that, you need to go ahead to preview and then click send a test email. And then simply enter in an email address where you'd like this test email to go to and then click send test. So as you can see, the test email has now been sent. So what I'm going to do is simply go into my inbox folder for that email address. And as you can see, we have the email right here, Joshua from Slice WordPress. And then we have the email right here. It says test 35% off our flagship digital marketing package. So don't worry about the word test showing in your email subject line. This is only showing because it's a test email. When you actually send out your email campaign, it's not going to say the word test. So let's go ahead and click this email. And as you can see, it actually looks pretty nice. We actually done a really good job on this. So this is exactly how your email is going to look if you send it out to all of your email subscribers. So once you're happy with how your email looks, what you need to do is go back into your campaign builder, click OK, and then go ahead and click continue. And one thing actually just to show you, which I didn't cover, if you go down to the bottom of your email, you can also see it's added in all of this stuff automatically by default. So such as your unsubscribe, it's got your mailing address, which we covered earlier on in this section of the course. So again, this is visible on all your email marketing campaigns as well. So like I said, once you're happy with your email, go back to MailChimp. And then the last step is to actually send your email. Now, you can send your email straight away by clicking send, or you can click schedule and schedule your email to go out at a later date. Personally, I like to schedule my emails and send them out around 11:30 a.m. so they're at the top of people's inbox before they have lunch. As you know, a lot of people check their inbox on the lunch break, so when I send my emails out at 11:30 a.m, it's going to ensure it's basically at the top of the inbox. Now, of course, what you need to bear in mind is that if you have an audience in multiple countries, so maybe you have some subscribers in the United Kingdom, and you've got some subscribers over in the United States as well, what you want to do is make sure you pick a mutual time which suits both audiences. You don't really want to send an email which is great for people in the UK, but it actually lands in the people's inbox at 4 a.m. in the United States, so do bear that in mind when scheduling your campaign. For the purpose of this training video, I'm going to go ahead and click send right now, send now, and just like that, it's out there. So that is how you set up an email campaign from start to finish, step by step, from within inside MailChimp. I hope you found the video useful, and I'll see you in the next one.